think that we have run seasoned commentary on the activities of the New Patriotic Party since it lost the last election of 7th December 2024. And I can understand the attempts of the political party to rebrand and, most importantly, position itself to face the next general election. And so one can only hope and pray that indeed they do so within the tenets of their own constitution and to a very large extent the constitution of the Republic of Ghana. And like you indicated, I think that we've not had anything, we've not heard anything untoward as far as the election, the vetting processes were concerned yesterday. And it's a feather in their cap. The most important thing is how they can at least quickly get out of the tantrums being thrown against each other as aspirants and focus on the bigger picture, that is repositioning the New Patriotic Party to make it at least a viable political force when it comes to our democratic space as a country. So we wish them well. We have done enough commentary on whether it is top-down approach or down-top approach or whatever.
Or bottom-up.
Or bottom-up approach. I think that it is within their right to determine which way they want to govern, even if it is instigated by a select few within the fold of the New Patriotic Party, and they managed to find a way of pushing it down the throats of the
rest of the party members.
It is still their political party, so they decide what to do. But I can assure you that, like I have always stated, we do not wish them bad. We wish them well for the sake of our democratic space.
Right.
The NDC is not aspiring to be the only political force under the 1992 Constitutional Republic of Ghana. Indeed, we are hoping that the third, was what we call it, Alan's political party, what's the name of it?
Movement for Change.
Movement for Change. Probably would become another force as far as our democratic space is concerned. And engineer is not here. Hopefully, engineers' political party, the CPP, would also suddenly go back to the drawing board and see how they can find something to bring them back to life when it comes to the political space of this country. So I wouldn't say much. It is their political party. They will determine how to run the affairs of that political party, either for good or for bad. But one thing is certain. This new National Democratic Congress that we are championing, I can assure you that it is going to be difficult, extremely difficult for any political grouping to be able to unseat this new NDC.
Yeah, sure.
Because we know what we are doing, we know our promises to the good people of this country, and we will do everything within our power to fulfill these campaign promises, albeit there will be challenges. But I can assure you that many of these challenges are surmountable. And so we would ensure that we remain true to the good people of this country. We remain moderate. We do not use invectives that can be described as insulting to the Ghanaian people when they raise legitimate concerns about what they need to be done for their country to move forward. We will respect them. We will respect the Fourth Estate, the media. We will protect lives of media men. We will do everything within our power to ensure that we have a very acceptable platform for the media men of this country and women of this country to be able to carry out their trip, like we did under the first John Dramani Mahama, where the likes of Manasseh Zuriawuni and co. had the freedom of speech and state protection to go about their journalistic practices. Unfortunately, same cannot be said in the last 8 years when many of them, including Manasseh, had to be flown out of this country for his own safety because of the work they did, the unfortunate demise of Ahmed Swale and the like. So clearly, we will remain committed to the foundational principles of our democratic space and do everything within our power to ensure that we protect the sanctity of the 1992 Constitution. When it comes to the economic space as well, we will do everything humanly possible to ensure that we resuscitate the comatose economy that was handed over to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the National Democratic Congress. And as you can see, the road has been quite Herculean, but I can assure you that we are committed to it, and in no time, our economy will be brought back to life. Unfortunately, we are dealing with an age-long challenge.
Which is?
Galamsey. And like we have continued to say, that, look, we will do everything to confront the menace. And we are not ruling out a declaration of state of emergency as well. So we are on the same page with civil society and professional bodies who are calling for a declaration of state of emergency. Just that the difference has to do with timing. And so when we implement the policies that we are implementing, and we feel strongly that indeed we are not getting the desired results, be rest assured that His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama and the National Democratic Congress will do everything to ensure that we confront that menace head on. And if it includes a declaration of state of emergency, that also would be done. So, Nana, like I indicated,
that's why your friend is not here. Government. He's been busy doing Galamsey expose.
I can understand why he would try to avoid this platform, because today, so tell him. Tell him, but we would have that
I'm so far
we spoke a day or two ago. So I spoke with him a day or two ago. But I can understand I can understand his passion, though clearly misplaced.
You think so?
Devoid of principle.
You think so?
Absolutely. Because if you are running commentary to the effect that indeed Galamsey, in its current form, started in 2010, disingenuous and unfair to the literature, because even if you go online today and search through the World Bank, under His Excellency President Kufuor, they released a report, and in that report it was indicated that one of the reasons why they were pulling out of our natural resource sector had to do with the menace of Galamsey and its polluting effect on the likes of River Ankobra and Pra. As far back as 2003. 2003. Who was president in 2003?
Right. John Kufuor.
Again, under His Excellency John Ajokum Kufuor, Shiraj had cause to release an environmental assessment report in 2008, where they lamented profusely about pollution of the water bodies as a result of Galamsey, occasioned by the first introduction of Shamfan machines, somewhere 2007. 2008. And so by 2010, the NDC government under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was only reeling under the effects of what was started as far back as 2003 and was not contained by the NPP administration. But even with that, before we left office in 2016, we managed to hand over a very clean River Ankobra. You remember? And there were pictures to that effect by the drone pilot Edemstrom and the likes. So if for 8 years, you failed to manage the situation, and many of your identifiable party operatives were engaged in it. Indeed, I am struggling to understand where this moral justice or the moral authority is coming from, as far as the MPP is concerned, when it comes to the issue of Galamsey. In any case, I'll listen to my own good brother and friend, and I am struggling to understand what he's proposing when it comes to the Galamsey fight, because I cannot simply, I am unable to piece together the end game. Whether it is a declaration of a state of emergency, it is not a declaration of a state of emergency, how should it be fought? The same gentleman who called and indicated that he will lead a demonstration against President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo if he should proceed to ban small-scale mining. So the stands quite confusing and lacks clarity. So hopefully next week we will meet here, and I'll have I'll
you
get
put
the
some questions
to
before him.
ask these questions. But until then, let me say, Nana, without mincing words, that yes, Galamsey is a challenge. This government is fighting it in a way that we feel that it is sustainable. And we respect the views of the Ghanaian people, and we can understand their desire for a haste when it comes to that fight. But I can assure you, one thing we will not take is lessons from the new patriotic party that for 8 years failed to deal with the Galamsey menace. We have a 4-year mandate. And by the end of that mandate, Ghanaians will be able to assess our handling of the Galamsey situation. It is not under 8 months. That point needs to be made. And we are committed to resolving it. So when Ghanaians are talking, those who for 8 years were given the mandate to help alleviate the challenge, and they woefully failed, indeed not just failed, they became celebrated enablers of Galamsey trade in this country, suddenly are those speaking the loudest when it comes to the Galamsey fight. Where from this moral authority?
Well,
Where from this
I'm sure next week
hypocrisy?
we'll have the opportunity to put that. But Fad, I'll give you a brief opportunity on this one. You are part of that team, right? Yeah, so.
Which team is that?
The team that were fact finding on Galamsey.
Oh, the team that decided to mimic the likes of
Erasmus.
And you see, Nana, I nearly forgot that just under a minute. I nearly forgot this point. You see, one thing, even in opposition, the NDC set standards for the new patriotic party. You noticed that immediately upon assumption of office, the likes of Vincent Asafua tried casting themselves in the mold of the likes of Okudzeto Ablakwa. Today, my own brother Miracle Sabwaji has suddenly seen sense in the politicking of Sami Jemfi, CEO of Goldboard, and suddenly has gone to adopt his strategies. That is something commendable. The NDC will continue to show the way. We continue to teach them.
Right,
They must be enough to concede that when it comes to this political space, we are the dons, and they must be humble enough to learn from us.